It's Monday morning, the day after The Walking Dead Season 9 finale, and that's what we're going to be talking about today is last night's episode of The Walking Dead, which was freaking amazing. I'm so happy that we finally have Snow on the show. And I'd like to touch on a point between Negan and Judith. I think in Negan's mind, Judith is running the whole show, which is pretty freaking awesome. I like the fact that in that episode last night, when Judith went running away, or went running off to save Daryl's dog, named Dog, that it was pretty freaking awesome that Negan would go and run after Judith to try to save her from the snowstorm because she was being a kid. And I thought it was pretty funny how in the scene, almost right before that, where they were in that wooden shack place with the fireplace and everything, and I can't remember which character, I think it was Father Gabriel, told Negan to stop being so predictable. And so that's where the whole Negan going after Judith plays in to Negan not being so predictable, because who would have thought that? I knew he would do that. I totally thought that Negan would sacrifice his health or his life for Judith. I think that's just how Negan is. He can definitely be an asshole. There's no doubt about that. But him running off to save Judith in a snowstorm, that right there was unpredictable, I think, to the group and to some of the fans out there. But to me, I knew he would have done that. I knew Negan would have done that. And then I'd also like to talk or touch on the subject between Negan and Lydia. Here we have two really interesting contrasts. We have Lydia here, who is a villain to the community of, I think, Hilltop and the Kingdom. There so many amazing people, so many great characters were lost in last week's episode, I think due to Lydia. But I don't think that was Lydia's fault. I think that was on Henry solely because he didn't have to go back and save Lydia. He didn't have to go back and bring her, back to his community. I think that right there, people should look at the whole spectrum and not just blame Lydia for that, because she left with her mother. Henry went after her. That was on Henry. He did not have to go. But anyway, we're talking about the contrast between Negan and Lydia. So what I'm talking about with that is, on one hand, you see Lydia as she puts her forearm to the mouth of the frozen zombie that got frozen in the water. And then you see she's trying to commit suicide through zombie, or by becoming a zombie, by killing herself. And then on the other hand, you see another villain, or a so-called past villain, or whatever you want to call Negan. He saves Judith's life. And think about this. On a side note, if Rosita and Gabriel and Eugene and Siddiq, if they would have left him in that room by himself and not have untied him or left him in jail, where would Judith be? She probably would have died in the storm. And thank goodness they had let him come with them. Otherwise, he wouldn't have run out and went after her to try to save her. Because if you notice, he was the first one to go in her direction. Nobody else did that. Negan did. Not Gabriel, not Rosita, Eugene, Siddiq. Nobody went after Judith but Negan. As soon as he saw her take off, he ran right off. He ran right after her, not even a split second. So I think in those eyes, definitely Negan has redeemed himself completely and fully in my eyes. Sure, he did kill Glenn, and he did kill Abraham, and so many of our other beloved characters. Sasha, yeah, that really sucks. But I think him saving Judith's life, it is totally redeeming in my eyes. I think through the 6 or 7 years between the time jump since Rick's disappearance, because he didn't die. Obviously, Rick did not die. He went off into a helicopter with Jadis a while ago, like 6 years ago. But I think in that time he spent by himself talking to Judith and building a relationship with her, I think he feels like kind of like a pseudo uncle or a godfather, an unofficial godfather. He feels responsible for Judith's life, and that's what I like about Negan. Negan, to me, I have always been 100% Team Negan. After I mean, it's all about his reasoning. He doesn't do shit without a reason, without a valid reason. But anyway, and then you see Lydia, who's trying to take her life by zombie. It's like, I really enjoyed that contrast that was in last night's episode. And then when Carol had the chance to take out Lydia, she didn't. Because right there, I think in that moment, Carol saw season 1 version or 2010 version of herself, where she wanted to give up. She didn't want to be in the world anymore. She was also in an abusive relationship. Lydia was being abused by her mother, physically and emotionally, and Carol was abused by Ed Peltier, physically and emotionally as well. So I think that Carol saw that part of her old self in Lydia, and she wanted to help her, and she didn't want to kill her. You know, Lydia is worth something. Lydia's worth living. And I think Carol saw that, and that's why she didn't kill her. And she's like, we have to go. Let's go. And let's see, what else do I want to talk about in this episode or in this video. I think there might be a little symbolism, and where they were going past Alpha's borders, they definitely avoided Henry's pike way down at the end. They stuck by Ozzy's pikes and I think DJ and Ozzy's pikes. They were on that end of the pikes. Excuse me for stuttering. I'm trying to remember last week's episode. It's kind of foggy a little bit. But yeah, they stuck on the right or left end. Well, anyway, they didn't go anywhere near Henry's pike. They didn't go anywhere near Enid's pike or Tara's pike. They just stayed all the way over there to the characters that were in and out every now and then. I think that was done on purpose, but I'm still trying to figure out why. There's got to be some symbolism. It's probably because it hurt too much to go down there and be reminded of what happened to them. I guess a few weeks ago in their time. And let's see. One thing that I'm definitely ready for is I'm ready to see what's going to happen to Alpha in season 10. She needs to go down. Her and Beta, all the Whisperers need to be wiped out, and I think the people that need to do that are Negan and Carol. Negan and Carol and Enid's boyfriend, they all need to take part in that. Whether Ezekiel has a say in that or has a part in that, I don't really care. I like King Ezekiel, but this episode, it kind of pissed me off with his encounter with Daryl. How he took Daryl to the side and said that he, doesn't want Daryl to go with him and Carol. That it should just be him and Carol alone. And I'm not too sure why he's blaming Daryl for what happened to his son. But it's not on Daryl's head. It's not on Lydia's head. All that's on Henry's head. I loved the character Henry. He was a teenage boy. He did a lot of stupid shit, including go after Lydia. So all those deaths, they are ultimately, you can disagree with me if you want, but if you look at the whole picture, last week's episode was on Henry, and it was on Alpha. So I'm really sorry that Henry is gone. I did like the character, but he was a stupid teenage boy. That's what teenagers do. They follow their heart, and they don't listen to adults. That's exactly what teenagers do. That's why I don't dislike the character. I actually like Henry. You can like I said, you can disagree with me if you want. Leave a comment below. We're gonna have a conversation about it. But that's just my opinion. That's my choice. That's my decision, and that's what I believe. This is all on Henry, and all on Alpha. Not on Lydia. Not on Daryl. And let's see. I think that's all I want to say for last night's episode. I hope you enjoyed the review. If you didn't, you can thumbs down. If you did, you can thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, sorry. And also, if you want notifications, just hit that bell and you'll get notified. you will get notified when I have a new video. Alright, you guys, thank you for listening. I love you guys. Peace out and namaste.